Alright, welcome back to the channel. Warhammer Man back in the studio, and just want to take a look at this week's pre-orders. Obviously we went through and did the pricing, but a couple of items were missing. Did make some speculations, and now we'll just take a look at what's available and if any of the prices are different, or the ones that were missing, you know, basically fill in the blank on those. So here we have first the Arena of Shades. So this is the new Sigmar box. This is a pretty cool setup. If you are new to the channel, make sure to like and subscribe for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, and Warcry content. The Arena of Shades box is really nice setup. It has your Daughters of Khaine and then also Nighthaunt in it. And compared to the starter boxes that come with these factions, this thing is loaded. It's over 40 miniatures. It includes the core rules. It has tokens and measuring devices, decals, a special book with a bunch of missions in it, and then all the battle scroll cards for all the units included. It has a new character for each faction, and then it also has a new unit for the undead. So overall, when it's all said and done, if you compare the value of this to just purchasing the units at retail and assume the value of the kits that aren't out, it's somewhere around like over $400 in value. I did a full breakdown of it, and it's 195 bucks. So if you can score this set and split it with a friend and maybe get 15 or 20% off for somewhere around like $80 to $100 each, you each have a very nice force. Now, are they going to be evenly matched against each other? Probably not. Balance is not the easiest thing to do in here. But you're going to have a bunch of models each. You're going to have a nice starting force to get rolling with, or expansion force for your existing. You're going to have everything you need to play it with the exception of dice. For me, this is a big score. I really like the fact that the battle plan cards come in here, because it means that you don't need to rush out and buy the codex if you want to try a new faction or try out the game. The rulebook is included, which has all the different rules. So you don't need to go out and buy like the $60 or $70 hardback big rulebook. It's also a lot easier to transport around. And then having the random tokens and stuff in there is nice as well. A couple missions. But most importantly, it's just loaded with new models. So obviously, the exclusive characters will be available separately later on, probably for somewhere around the prices that we anticipated. If you want to see the full breakdown of the prices in the set and where I'm coming up with that value from in comparison to purchasing these kits individually, make sure you check out that video as well. But in the meantime, this is probably one of the best boxes Games Workshop has released in a while, and the Sigmar boxes tend to be better. So Fury of the Deep was a nice box overall, and the first time we saw them giving out the core rulebook as well, which I thought was a great idea, because now you have turned these battle boxes into essentially a starter set. So for people that are less worried about terrain and don't want to buy a bunch of terrain, or just want to split and try something out with a friend, this is the perfect set in my opinion. So moving on to 40k, so we see that they have brought back a bunch of made-to-order old edition models. So we have, these are like the old sculpts. Some of these are better than the new ones. It is important to know though, these are made-to-order. One, so there's going to be a delay from when you get them, longer than Games Workshop's typical lead time. And then also, these are going to be they're originally metal models that they have recast and fine cast into resin, and they're available for a limited time only. So these will be in resin. They're not new plastic kits. I think sometimes people don't realize that, but we have a nice Death Jester model. Obviously the precursor to Moghan Ra. He's kind of standing with like that split stance. But he is basically, Moghan Ra is basically the Phoenix Lord of the Dark Reapers. The Death Jester is basically like the Harlequin version of a Dark Reaper kind of. So they have very similar aesthetics. And then we have the Shadow Seer. This one looks a lot like the art from the books. Very cool model. I like it. He's kind of just like casually hovering with this cool little staff. Nice looking model. Nice looking model. And then we have a couple of Farseers. This one is obviously the precursor of the existing Farseer, kind of with the staff like casually behind him, or the spear. And then this one eventually kind of turned into Eldred Ulthrin, kind of in my opinion. Similar type of look and everything. But these are some nice looking models. Very cool. This is like a super OG Farseer. Obviously the aesthetic on him not quite matching like the newer models. The proportions are like a little bit off. You can see he's like a little more like kind of stubby and awkward. And then he has like the side pieces instead of kind of like the back piece. But cool model and definitely takes you back. And then we have our Autarchs. So first we have the Autarch with the Banshee Blade and wings. Again, that's sort of like the precursor for the plastic Autarch that ended up coming out. This one's going to have limited options, not like the new kits. But again, nice looking model overall. And then here we have the Autarch with the Dragon Fusion Gun. And then again, this one kind of led to the most recent Autarch release. These are both nice looking models, but honestly, I think the new ones are better. So, and then here we have the Harlequin troop next. This is the old school Harlequin troop. It was available back in metal pre the plastic Harlequins that are out now. You get 6 Harlequins in the set, same thing. They look fairly similar. There are no actual repeats in the set. Each model is unique, although the poses, as you can see, the kind of like pointing out your weapon and holding your gun up in the air is pretty common in the set. But it is 6 unique models. Again, not in metal, not in plastic. They're going to be in fine cast. So if you've never used fine cast, it can be a little finicky. Games Workshop's resin is not the best quality. Tends to be frail and likely to break. And overall shows up warped with like lots of imperfections and just not the best quality, honestly. There's lots of other companies that do better quality resin. I'm not necessarily saying their miniatures are better, but their resin quality and, delivery is much better. You can ask anyone that's purchased Finecast or even Forge World, what was the condition of the brand new expensive models when they got them, and everybody has a horror story to tell. So definitely would not purchase these if I was a beginning gamer and have never dealt with resin before, because honestly, you're probably not going to have the best experience. I would start with something else resin that's cheap and get used to cleaning it and going through the process and building it and everything. And then you can work up to an expensive resin kit that might show up in shambles. So, but that's just my opinion. Resin is nice that it's very forgiving. You can do anything with it. You can heat it up. You can reshape it, but you do have to clean it, clean off the, all the different chemicals that are on it, wash it, take care of it, dry it. Before ever painting it or anything, there's quite a bit of prep work that actually goes into it, but you don't have to build it. So it's kind of like a, plus and a minus. So here, moving on to the new Battlezone Fronteris. So we see 220 for the box set, as we were anticipating, quoted, etc. The STC Hab Bunker Stockades, $80. The Battlezone Fronteris Vox Antena, $70. Battlezone Fronteris Landing Pad, $70. The Battlezone Fronteris Battlefield, which is 2 boards, I did anticipate that was going to be $50, but it's actually $60. That wasn't on my price sheet, so that's actually $10 more. So now that we know the official prices on this set, for the box set to see how much value is in here, there's 2 of these, which are $80 a piece, so that's $160, plus the $70 right here is $230, plus the $70 right here is $300. And then $60 for the boards. So it's actually $360 worth of retail for $220 is how much the set costs. Now the argument here is, and I have to agree, that I think the individual kits are overpriced. So it looks like you're getting a better deal than you really are, honestly. That's just my opinion. $80 for this, it's okay, but to tell you the truth, this building was available previously and was pretty cheap in like the sets it came in before. Obviously, there's been price raises since then. These gates are cool and everything, but they're not like super amazing or anything. $70 for these. They're just honestly, they're cool. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think they're priced right. I really don't. And then the landing pad is very cool. I like the aesthetics of it. I like the details of it. But again, for how much actual functionality you get off this and playability and interactivity with this piece of terrain, you could literally take a box from one of your sets and lay it out on the table, and it's going to do the same thing in game terms. This just is like a pretty version of it. So again, I think it's nice. It's cool terrain. I love terrain. I'm one of the few people that is excited to pay for nice quality terrain because I really like how it looks and it makes your games so much more immersive and so much more fun. But to tell you the truth, I just think this is the huge pricing mistake. All these things, if this was $60, it would be much more reasonable. Even $70, the same as the rest of the stuff. But I think all these should be $60. I really do. And if they're all priced at $60, that's 120 here and another 120 here. That's 240. And then, you know, again, $50 for these maybe, I guess. I don't know who buys them at that. Probably 40. That'd be 280. So if this was all priced how I thought it should be at 280, you know, you're still saving $60 on this set. So it's not bad. You know, if you're going to buy, if you were going to buy one of these, and one of these at retail or discounted, and you had the choice between the full set or these individually, you know, just buying 70, 140, and 220. So just buying these 3 sets is the same as buying the whole set. So you basically get 2 game boards and 1 extra set of this for free. So that's how I look at it. That's why I like to do the individual breakdowns. If you were thinking about buying these 3 things, you're going to spend as much as a full kit, and you might as well just get this for free. Either sell it off, keep it, whatever. But, you know, then you have the full set for the same price. That's why I like to do these breakdowns. Overall, I like this stuff. I do think it's a little overpriced. I don't think as many people are willing to drop $220 on just some terrain as you would think. I think a lot more people would prefer to spend that money on models. So, but overall, it's cool. It's definitely cool. I really like how it looks. But to tell you the truth, it won't be long before there's some 3D printable stuff that's just as good or nearly as good as this for basically free, in my opinion. So next we have the Warhawk book, Horus Heresy, Siege of Terra book 6, $18 on paperback. And then we have the Urdash, the Serpent, and the Saint paperback for $16. And now here we have these new mugs. So they're the Abyss Corp, Warhammer 40,000, Indominus Bug. So we have Necrons and Space Marines on the other side, $15. And then we have the Abyss Corp, Warhammer 40,000 Blood Angel mug. So we got the And They Shall Know No Fear and then a Blood Angel. The Assassinorum Kingmaker, $27 as expected. Mission Tempest of War, $33. And then these are all some previous releases. I guess these are just now available again after not being available for a while. I don't remember ever not seeing the Predator and Landspeeders on there, but they're showing up in the new releases. Now, that being said, there is one other thing I noticed. When we heard that there was going to be potentially knights and there was like sort of that like fake reveal, I actually went and looked at the knights and like the prices and everything because I was curious about a couple things. And, you know, if we were going to get the knights, how much do they cost? I hadn't really looked at the knights recently, etc. I do have like, you know, a knight's army. So I was curious, you know, about them. And I went and looked at them. And when I looked at them, the one thing I specifically noticed was all the knight kits like this, which is like the Canis Rex kit now. It's the regular knight kit, and then it comes with the Canis Rex upgrade sprue. All of those are at $170. And they have been since the price increase. And then the Tyrant, you know, basically is just the 2 versions of the, you know, big knight that could be used as chaos or regular, and the only difference is the paint job. So these are all regular knight kits right here. They just could be painted up chaos or regular. They don't come with any extra bits or upgrade sprues or anything like that. They make them chaos. But I noticed that it was $170 for both these. These used to be cheaper than this, and then the upgraded one with extra sprue was the same price. So now they're all just the same price. So there is no cheaper knight or anything like that. And then same with the War Dogs. They're $80 after the price increases. And then you have either with the thermal spear or with the autocannons. But it's basically the hand-to-hand combat and thermal spear or the double autocannons. And again, they're $80 after price increases. But these knights, when I just looked, you know, which was what? I mean, not even a few weeks ago. Since the price increases, these were priced at $150. So now they're $160 with the announcement of the new codex and everything coming. So, I mean, I don't know if... I mean, this is another stealth price increase by GW. They basically just snuck in, didn't say anything, and then changed the knights. Now, do I expect them to just come out every time they raise the price on anything and just announce it? No, I don't. Of course not. You know, that's not realistic. But is it shady to literally raise the price on your entire line and then start raising more prices when nobody's looking before a release comes out? That to me is pretty shady. Now, do they care? No, all they care about is making money. Are things getting more expensive? Sure, there's lots of inflation and everything like that. But if you literally just raised the price on something and you already said you were going to raise your prices 5% and then you jacked up the price anyway, and then you come in afterwards, right around or before or after you're revealing that there's going to be like a new book coming from this army, new kits coming from this army, you build a bunch of hype for it, and then you raise the prices on all the existing stuff again because you know there's going to be hype around it. I mean, come on, man. It's just crazy. So for this set now, it was, and I'm 100% sure, because I literally remember saying, oh, that's cool that the gas knights are a little less. I wonder why that is. And then being like, well, they have a bunch of upgrade stuff, and it is a newer kit, but they don't come with all the weapon choices that the regular knight kit comes with. Because this one comes with a chain sword, a fist, and then, you know, all the top weapons. There's like 3 different top weapons you can choose from, and then it has like, you know, 6 different like guns. There's so much different stuff. You know, there's like a little pilot that comes on the side now, all the extra like different choices and everything. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. It's $20 more because you get so many more choices. Because with this one, you literally get the claw hand, 1 gun, and then the chain weapon. If I'm not mistaken. Is there another gun? Yeah, I don't think so. I think there's only 1 gun. So you basically get 3 weapons, and then you get quite a few different bits and everything, some chaosy kind of stuff. But $10 less. I mean, again, you know, that's their choice. They can do whatever they want, but it's definitely a stealth price increase. Just something I noticed. Maybe you care. Maybe you don't. Thought that I would bring that up, though. I did think it was kind of funny that they're like building hype for something and then like sneak in and raise the price real quick. So, but that's it for today. I just wanted to show off the new releases and mention what I had noticed about the Knights. So maybe you can still find one at the old price. Somebody hasn't raised it up yet. If you are interested in them, maybe you don't care. But there is a limited amount of time that we can get these new/old releases. So for a limited time only, you're able to pick up all the made-to-order stuff. So say you did want like the Shadow Seer or something like that. Let's see what details it has. This product is made to order and will be delivered in 35 working days. So that's not as bad as some of the other ones. Available on made-to-order basis until 6 p.m. GMT on Sunday the 10th. So you have basically like a little over, you know, basically a week to order this, week and a half, something like that to order him. So that is cool. And then once again, if you scroll down here, it is listed, I'm sure. Finely detailed metal miniature that comes in 3 components and is supplied with a Citadel 25mm round base. Huh. Now, I don't know if that's correct. That is interesting. A finely detailed metal miniature. I just assumed that they would be making these in Finecast and not re-releasing them in metal. But that is interesting. Now, let's be real here. There's a good possibility this is just a mistake and they just took the old text from the old model and then just put it up here. But there's an equally good possibility that it will be in metal. So if you're not sure and that's a game breaker or, you know, maker one way or the other, check with Games Workshop on this one because I can't tell you for sure if it's going to be metal or Finecast. I think, honestly, because of how poor the quality is on Finecast, I would rather them be metal. I don't really like metal miniatures. I much rather plastic because I like to cut them up and change stuff. But if this is in metal, I think it's actually much better. So I am curious about that. I wonder if I look at one of the other ones too. That is very interesting, though. I really did just assume that they would be Finecast. And again, if this says it's going to be same thing, 35 working days. This says a finely detailed metal miniature that comes in 3 components. So maybe I was wrong about that. Maybe these will be in metal. Again, I just assumed whenever they've been doing the remakes recently, they've been remaking them in Finecast. But if this is coming back in metal and you have an opportunity to get it, I think that makes it much more viable. Just because I don't like the Finecast. It's just so delicate. You know, I treat my models like a model, but they're just so easy to accidentally break. So I know we don't need to check again, but let's look at what the Harlequins say. Same thing. And finely detailed metal miniatures. So yeah, it looks like all these are actually coming back in metal, which is possibly even better. So But that being said, just wanted to do our weekly update and just kind of show off what's available. So if you wanted to get any of these made to order items, looks like it's a 35-day wait time, and then on top of that, they will all be metal. So please disregard my Finecast comments from earlier in the video. And you guys know how I feel obviously about the Battlezone Fronteris. Very nice setup, cool terrain and everything. A little pricey for me honestly, but that being said, look out for those stealth price increases. And I think the big winner this week is Arena of Shades. The Arena of Shades set is absolutely awesome. I think this is going to be a big seller. It is loaded with models. It's got new stuff in there. It's got the rule book. It's got all kinds of bonuses that make this set how a set should be. 40 something plus models, all the rules for your models themselves for the actual game. And I think that's the way these boxes should be. So but that's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man. If you enjoy this type of content, reactions, reviews, and news, all types of tutorials for painting, modeling, and pretty much anything to do with tabletop wargaming for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, and Warcry, and even a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons as well. Make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think down below. Are you surprised that these are in metal? Are you excited about the Arena of Shades or the terrain set? Are you mad at the stealth price increases on the Chaos Knights that you were thinking about getting into? Do you not care about any of this and you're just watching the video because you like my voice? Well, let me know down below. I appreciate all the positivity from you guys. Everybody have a great week, and I'll be back with some fresh content throughout. I do post at least one video every single day, so make sure that you turn on notifications so you don't miss any awesome news or reveals, etc. That's it for today, Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.